In the center of North Carolina, in the center of Raleigh, you can find a 157-year-old university surrounded by neighborhoods on all sides. What the football stadium and stone architecture hides, however, is the downward spiral the university has gone down in the last 10 years. St. Augustine University has been home to a rotating door of presidents, financial scandal, federal investigation, its accreditation being suspended, and declining student numbers. All of this culminated on February 27th, with its accreditation being revoked. But what can we learn from this? What is St. Augustine University? And what recipe did they use to cook up a cocktail of catastrophe?
In 2014, St. Augustine had overestimated how much they would earn, by just a tad bit. When St. Augustine counted up all their peanuts, they came up 4 million short, just a little bit of pocket change, or about an eighth of their average annual expenditure, which is 32 million. Small problem. St. Augustine had been banking on that money to fund its work on its 3-year-old football stadium, which resulted in a lien to the tune of $675,000, and the work ultimately being left unfinished.
In 2024, an independent auditor released financial records of St. Augustine, which revealed that the university had casually misplaced $10 more million and couldn't account for where they went. It was also revealed that St. Augustine had failed to pay its taxes, resulting in a 7.9 million IRS lien and $1 million owed to other vendors. So not only were they making purchases they couldn't pay for with money they couldn't find, they were committing tax evasion against the feds, who funded about 10 million of their budget. SpaghettiOs acquired next to customers. St. Augustine's total student enrollment almost always hovers between 1,000 and 2,000 students. However, from 2012 to 2018, this university went from an enrollment of 1,442 to 767. For reference, that's less than the average number of students in a high school. While it has now rebounded to 1,100 students enrolled, this number is mostly plateauing and is still only 76% of its former glory. As with any recipe, you absolutely want about every chef under the sun to contribute. Luckily, St. Augustine has recently adopted this beautiful philosophy. From its founding to 2014, St. Augustine has had a total of 10 presidents. From 2014 to 2024, St. Augustine nearly doubled that to a total of 19. Let me give you a very quick rundown of what happened. St. Augustine's president, Diane Bordley-Suber, facing pressure for the overestimating fiasco, fired her VP of Finance and Business Affairs and 12 other people, then proceeded to be in turn fired 2 days later by the St. Augustine Board of Trustees. Dr. Everett Ward would take her place. As a former Democratic National Committee leader and St. Augustine alumni, as well as Sigma fraternity leader, he became the first of many other interim presidents. One of his first acts was to continue the firing spree, removing several dozen more positions at St. Augustine. He became official in 2015, then was fired in 2019, 4 months ahead of his planned retirement. After Dr. Everett Ward, there would be a series of endlessly changing presidents with very short tenures. After a series of 2 interim presidents, one serving for a year and one for 3 months, the Board of Trustees appointed its next president, Dr. Irving P. McPhail, a former president of a community college. However, just 3 months into his tenure, he would contract COVID-19 and sadly pass away. This would lead to another interim president before his wife, Dr. Christine Johnson McPhail, was appointed 6 months later. Though this was not to last. She was fired after she tried to sue the St. Augustine Board of Trustees. Skip one more acting president, and we have our current interim president, Marcus H. Burgess.
It wouldn't be an American university if there weren't lawsuits. Remember the president fired for suing? Well, that suit didn't just disappear because she got kicked out of the kitchen. And that last sentence is the crux of the case. She alleged that this beautiful board of trustees had discriminated against her because of her gender. Similarly, a fired head coach launched a lawsuit after claiming he was fired for alerting the board about illegal practices.
St. Augustine's longtime accreditor, the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, decided that enough was enough and put St. Augustine on probation on December 3rd, 2023, and investigated them. After several hearings with St. Augustine, finding this utter clown show on February 27th, 2024, they decided to remove St. Augustine's accreditation. So, what lesson can we learn from this? If you commit tax evasion, just don't get